Devon, the bounce and move initially when you won the toss and decided to bat first, it was a surprising decision for everyone because there was grass. You batted well, like you lost only one wicket before tea, but after that you lost five back-to-back wickets. So the nature of the pitch changed, or what happened?
Yeah, I think looking at the surface this morning, as you say, there was certainly a little bit of grass. We did say that there would probably be a little bit more bounce and a little bit more assistance for the seam bowlers today. So, it was nice batting out there with Tommy Latham and Kane. We managed to form some good partnerships, and then I think, as you say, just the surface certainly got a little bit drier, which offered a little bit more spin for the turners. So, credit to the Pakistan bowlers for getting those 5 wickets after tea.
There was a lot of talk about the amount of grass there was on the surface, much more so than perhaps there was in the first test. Did you also feel that represented an opportunity to score faster in the first session? Because both you and Tom Latham, I think you did 4 in over, which was a lot faster than anything anyone managed in the first test during that time.
Yeah, I think with the nature of the grass on the surface, it maintained a bit of pace in the wicket, and obviously when the ball's harder as well, it comes off the bat better. So for us, we sort of kept things the same way we do it in any other test match, but we were just rewarded with good cricket shots that managed to go for boundaries. So we just, we sort of got off to a good start, and we just try to continue that momentum throughout the day.
And do you think the pitch is changing now? After you got out, it seemed like suddenly the pitch was taking a lot more turn, things were happening. Do you think the pitch has already begun to change, or are we reading too much into that?
No, I think it's starting to change. As I said, after tea there was a bit more turn on offer, which is showing the nature of the wicket drying out and assisting the spinners a little bit more. And I think also just looking at the seamers as well, it just sort of looks like it's skidding on a little bit more. Not as much carry as there was in the beginning of the morning. So, it'll be interesting to see what the wicket's going to be like come day 3, 4 and 5.
Devon, you scored 100 on Test debut, and now you became fastest New Zealand to 1,000 runs in Test, and today you scored century in Pakistan, first 100 in Asia. Talk us through your 12th Test journey. It's a roller coaster ride for you in Test cricket.
Yeah, I think personally it's been a good ride so far. I've only played a handful of Test games, so it's just nice to get the opportunity to play and contribute for the team. It's been a good ride so far.
In all the 3 formats, you have been selected in all the 3 formats for New Zealand, and you grew up in Johannesburg in South Africa. So how different it is, because most of the players who belong to South Africa, then they either played for England or New Zealand or somewhere else. How did it help you when you grew up? You played all the cricket over there in Johannesburg in South Africa.
Yeah, I think for me, I was fortunate enough to play a lot of first-class cricket in South Africa. Playing first-class cricket allows you as a player to learn a lot about your game, and I can take that experience into my game, and we're always learning no matter what sort of level you're playing at, and so I'm pretty grateful that I managed to play all that cricket under my belt, and it's obviously sort of paying off a little bit now in Test level.
Talk about your astronomical rise in international cricket, the way you broke onto the scene and you've had success across formats, and now also you have a century in Asia. So talk about how that's different from other surfaces across the globe where you played, and how was that spell from Naseem Shah?
Thank you so much, I appreciate that. There's a lot in that question. I think that spell, going to that first from Naseem Shah, was special after tea. He bowled with good energy, he had a good area, asked good questions, he obviously moved the ball both ways, which made it quite challenging for myself and Kane, and you sort of reaped the rewards towards the end when you got Kane out, so it was a challenging spell. To go to the beginning of your question, I think I've been very fortunate enough to have good support, not only from the players but from the support staff, giving me that opportunity to play in all 3 formats and express myself, and sort of allowing me to just go out there and be the player I want to be. And I've got to give a lot of credit to the environment and the culture that we have going at the moment, so I'm pretty grateful for that. And then just talking about Asia in particular, it's been a different challenge for me personally, sort of growing up on hard and fast bouncy surfaces, whereas here in the last 2 Test matches a lot of the balls have been sort of slightly on the lower bounce and just making it a little bit challenging. But we've got a lot of experience in our batting lineup, so we certainly have those conversations with guys like Kane and Tommy and Toey, who've been in these parts of the world and played on these sort of surfaces, and just asking them.
Just following on from that last question, how do you reckon New Zealand will go about it when you go out to bowl?
Yeah, I think for us, the things we talk about as a bowling unit is just keeping things simple, passing the baton on, bowling in partnerships. That's been key for us in the last short while. We've just got to be patient on a surface like this where it doesn't look like it's going to offer a lot for the seamers. It's about just hanging in there, putting batsmen under pressure for long periods of time, making it hard for them to score, and then just allowing the spinners to be more wicket-taking options, having obviously close fielders in and having guys out on the boundary just trying to squeeze in that way, and just like I said, keep them under pressure for long periods of time.
First class career in South Africa, which was full of struggle, and you were also a bit unlucky to a blossoming international career in New Zealand. So how the things changed in few years?
Yeah, I think for me there was a couple of technical changes that I needed to make. I didn't quite know my game as well as I did when I was sort of 24, 25. There was a couple of winters where I spent a lot of time sort of working on technical changes that I needed to make. Just again having the support around, not only from the players but the support staff, to just guide me and help me and just give me that sense of backing and belonging makes a difference for me as a player.
First two sessions belong to New Zealand cricket team, and the last session Pakistan took 5 wickets. Do you think the batch is equally poised?
To answer the first part of your question, I don't think these surfaces or any surfaces are suited for me. I just try and adjust to what I have in front of me, regardless of whether I'm playing here in Pakistan or back home in New Zealand or in England. It's just about adjusting my game plan as best as possible to suit the conditions. And then to answer your second part of the question, I think the game is certainly evenly poised. We did win those first two sessions, but the way Pakistan bounced back in that last session certainly brought them back in the game. But I think tomorrow it sets up for an exciting day of Test cricket.
To make a decision to go with the 3 spinners because the grass was on and everybody was talking that it will have the fast bowlers. Pakistan included 3 fast bowlers. What made you go for the 3 bowlers as a spinner?
To be honest, it's hard for me to answer that question because we trust the senior shoulders and the senior heads in our squad. We just trust Tim Southey's decision making along with the coach Gary. For me, it's just about just trusting what they say and what they come up with, and just backing that it's going to be best for the team.